Denver 7 On Demand is brought to you by Ferguson and BAC Appliance Center, the best in bath, kitchen, and lighting for your home.
I'm Ann Trujillo with the latest from Denver 7. Even for a city a mile closer to the sun, today was a hot one. Certainly not a day you want to be out in a hard hat trying to repair a busted water main break like these crews on Holly Street. We're also not sure it's the best time to go for a shade-free stroll either, like these folks out on the trail. And we know this is not the time to be like Chief Investigator Tony Kovaleski, quizzing the people at the ice cream truck parked at our station about which flavor is best while the rest of us are there waiting for our scoop. Chief Meteorologist Mike Nelson is tracking record-tying temperatures. And Mike, we hit 99 degrees today in Denver.
We did, and just shy of getting to that triple digit, but I think we'll do it tomorrow. It's going to be a warm night tonight, no precipitation expected, and the temperatures are not going to fall that far, just into the mid-60s in the Denver area. 40s and 50s expected in the mountains. Will start out sunny and warm and be sunny and hot by midday on Friday. In the afternoon, hot, windy, and dry. Isolated thunderstorms. Most areas stay dry, and the temperature 100 for Denver, for Fort Collins. But look down to the southeast. Pueblo 105, La Junta 107, Lamar 108 degrees. There's a change coming up after that, though. Friday will be hot, windy, and dry, but a cold front arrives Saturday. Thunderstorms and cooler in the afternoon. That front stalls out across Colorado into Sunday. The hot, dry weather off to the southwest of us. Cooler air with a better chance of showers and storms. So on the 7-day, it drops considerably. 83 on Saturday, 78 with thunderstorms on Sunday, 80 on Monday with thunderstorms. Start to get the heat back in here by next week into the low 90s Wednesday and Thursday.
Thank you, Mike. Aurora police are releasing new images of a prime suspect in Friday's attempted flag burning at the ICE facility. Investigators believe the man in the black hoodie is responsible for taking down the U.S. flag and trying to set it on fire. Once caught, he could be charged with injury to property and reckless kindling of fire, both misdemeanors. Also in Aurora, a scary situation that could have turned out much worse for everyone involved. Police tell us a 16-year-old boy was messing around with a gun in his home. This was on Fraser Street. The gun went off, and that bullet hit not just him, but it also traveled through the wall and hit his 14-year-old sister. Thankfully, both will be okay. The boy, however, may face charges. Heads up, if you take C-470, the Wadsworth Boulevard on-ramp will close late tonight for construction and will not reopen until early Wednesday morning. And this will definitely add some time to your trip. 2 detours have been set up, taking the Kipling Parkway exit. That will tack on another 3 miles to your drive. Heading on to Santa Fe will add 6.5 miles. Of course, that could mean even more traffic on Santa Fe, which is already busy during rush hour. And as our Colorado grows, Denver's trying to figure out how to accommodate all the people trying to get around town. The city thinks the answer may lie in adding more bike lanes to neighborhoods, an idea that's not sitting well with a whole lot of folks. Denver 7's Megan Lopez explains.
So Detroit Street is one of several that could see some big changes if a proposal by the city goes through. A proposal that could end up making Detroit Street look a little bit like Washington Street, which is a one-way with a bike lane on one side. It's just a proposal at this point. Still, even the idea of change has some neighbors upset.
Out here along Detroit Street in Congress Park.
It's not changed a lot.
It's not just the trees that have been around for a long time.
People living here have gotten a lot younger.
Jerry Ross
We used to be the youngins, and now we're the oldins.
Has lived here for more than 40 years. His neighbor Richard across the street.
I have been in this area since 1964.
Has been here even longer.
And I love the neighborhood.
A street that's more or less stayed the same. But change could be coming as part of Denver's East Central Area Plan.
It's been identified as a potential project.
A project that includes a proposed high-comfort bike lane here.
Making it easier, more comfortable, and safer for people to ride their bike on.
Richard and Jerry are uncomfortable with that idea.
We would not particularly like 500 bicycles a day coming down here.
A next-door post recently added by one of the neighbors caused some concern.
And I'm hearing all kinds of stories. They've talked about changing it into a one-way street.
A one-way would affect us negatively. Can't imagine it.
Some speculating that parking could be taken away along the street or that trees could be cut down to make way for that bike lane.
We're not proposing taking away a parking lane, or definitely not proposing taking away any trees.
City planner Kurt Upton says most of the change will be to intersections,
Making those types of crossings safer.
with more paint and signs.
For Detroit, we don't envision it looking dramatically different than it does today.
Still, change can be difficult to deal with,
I just don't see the need for it.
particularly on a street that hasn't seen it in a long time.
This street should stay exactly as it is. It does not need to get better.
Megan Lopez, Denver 7.
And parking isn't the only thing in short supply in our Colorado. Tonight, more much-needed affordable housing opened on Knox Court in Denver. Arroyo Village boasts 95 units for families, 35 for homeless individuals transitioning to permanent housing, and 60 shelter beds for homeless women and transgendered people. To qualify for an apartment, you must earn less than 50% of the area median income. So for a single person, that's $32,000. For a family of 3, that's about $42,000. The iconic Sports Castle building on Broadway could soon be dwarfed by new development. A group wants to surround the structure with 2 13-story buildings to the north and east. One would be retail space on the bottom floor with housing and parking above. The other would be a senior living complex with parking below. The city says it has received the request but hasn't yet had time to go over it. This has been your Denver 7 On Demand update. Thank you so much for joining us. Check back here later tonight for another update and download the Denver 7 app for breaking news and alerts. I'm Ann Trujillo.